Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Adkup Show. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that's crucial for India's economic growth. How can India kickstart a manufacturing boom? We'll look at some reforms that could transform India into a world next major manufacturing hub. So, without wasting time, let's get started. So, India's manufacturing sector contributes only about 13% to its GDP. That's very low compared to China, where it's more than 27%. The problem here we have is India's manufacturing sector is neither growing nor stagnant. It's actually on decline. So, there's something really wrong about India's manufacturing policies. Now, imagine the potential if India could tap into that, but the question is what's wrong or what's stopping India from reaching there? Let's explore the reforms needed to change this narrative. First off, let's talk about taxes. India's tax system can sometimes feel like a maze. One key reform could be simplifying the goods and services tax, which is commonly known as GST. Currently, there are different rates for different products, which can confuse both manufacturers and consumers. Now, here's a suggestion. Why not have one GST rate for automobiles regardless of their size? Many reports suggest that this move could boost consumer spending by making purchasing more transparent and predictable. Also, reducing additional tax, for example, on aviation turbine fuel (ATF), could lower the operational costs for airlines, indirectly benefiting manufacturing by increasing demand for aerospace products. Simplifying taxes would mean less time and money spent on compliances, allowing businesses to focus on what they do the best: manufacturing. And remember, lower taxes could lead to higher consumer spending, which is a win-win for everyone. So yes, India should reduce the taxes, especially on manufacturers. Next, let's talk about labor laws. India has a myriad of labor laws, which could be quite restrictive. Flexibility in hiring and firing is crucial for manufacturing. The government has already started consolidating these laws into four labor codes, but implementation needs to be swift and effective because no company has patience to wait for too long. One big area for reform is in sectors like textiles, furnitures, and electronics. Improving the standards of labor here doesn't just mean better pay or working conditions, but also more efficient work practices, which means increasing the quality of the manufactured product. This could attract more foreign investment as investors look for stable and productive labor markets. It's about finding that sweet spot where workers are protected and yet the industries can scale up efficiently. On to infrastructure. For manufacturing to boom, goods need to move quickly and efficiently. India has made strides with projects like Bharatmala and Sagarmala, but there's still a long way to go. Better roads, ports, and rail networks are essential. Why? Because if you can't ship your products, you can't sell them. And even if you somehow manage to get the product in the market, you won't be able to find many buyers because product cost will be very high due to poor infrastructure. For example, in China, the average speed of freight train is 80 to 90 kilometers, and express train can reach up to 120 to 160 kilometers. Whereas in India, the speed is hardly 24 to 27 kilometers, which is not good at all. India needs to double the speed and reach at least 50 kilometers in order to become more competitive. We also need to talk about power. Reliable and cheap electricity is the backbone of manufacturing. Initiatives like National Smart Grid missions are steps in the right direction, but India needs more investment to ensure that factories don't have to deal with power outages, which can be very costly sometimes. Small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, are the heart of India's manufacturing. They need support many businesses often mention the need for interest-free or low-interest loans. This would help them to expand their operations without the burden of high debt. This will also lead to the expansion of businesses, which will generate more employment. Moreover, easing access to technology and modernizing equipment through government-backed schemes could significantly enhance productivity. MSMEs should also benefit from simplified regulatory frameworks to encourage innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, moving ahead to education and skill development, where India need to hit the nail on the head. The workforce need to be skilled for industries of tomorrow and not just today. Programs like Skill India are great, but there needs to be a broader push. Vocational training should be aligned with industry needs, and there should be a focus on emerging technologies like AI and automation. Industry partnerships with educational institutions can create a pipeline of skilled workers, directly addressing the industry's skill gap. This not only prepares workers but also ensures that manufacturing units can adopt modern practices without the lag of skills shortage. Now, the sad part about all this is that India is a country with more than 1.4 billion population, but the reality is that India is facing massive labor shortage, especially in manufacturing sector. The country requires more laborers, but the government is unable to supply that because of lack of proper training and skills. The government need to spend more money on skill development rather than giving freebies for short-term benefits. And these skills aren't for high-end manufacturing. India desperately needs more electricians, plumbers, carpenters, etc., etc. Now, trade policies are another area ripe for reform. India needs to strike a balance between protecting domestic industries and opening up to global markets. Free trade agreements, FTAs, with key regions could boost exports, but contrary to belief, almost all the FTAs have resulted in widening of trade deficit, which is the major area of concern. However, recent FTA with the UAE has brought some good benefits to India. And in my personal opinion, I think India should sign less FTAs until its manufacturing takes off. Investment policies should be made more investor-friendly. Reducing red tape, offering tax incentives, and providing clear, consistent policies can attract more FDIs into manufacturing. The Make in India initiative has been pivotal but needs to evolve with global economic and political trends. Lastly, let's not forget about the environment. Sustainable manufacturing is the future. India should implement regulations that encourage green manufacturing without crippling industry in which India is doing well. Incentives for adopting clean tech, solar power, and water recycling in factories could be game changers. This approach not only helps the planet but also makes Indian products more competitive in eco-conscious markets like EU. So there you have it, a roadmap for manufacturing boom in India. From streamlining taxes to enhancing labor laws, improving infrastructures, supporting MSMEs, upscaling the workforce, refining trade policies, and embracing sustainable practices. These reforms could redefine India's manufacturing landscape. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight, but with constant efforts, India can definitely become a major global manufacturing powerhouse. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe for more economic deep dives, and let us know in the comment section what do you think about these reforms, or if you have any suggestion of your own. Until next time, keep thinking and keep learning.